What did you guys say? What the hell are they
This
talking
is-
about? What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the Three Idiots Talking podcast. We are all back for our first stream and our first recording since Cole had to go on his almost 2-week trip. Welcome back, Cole.
Hello.
And just to shout out Alex for filling in for Cole while we were gone. But today we are here to celebrate our 550 sub goal video. I know we are far past 550 subs, but we wanted to make sure Cole was back when we actually did our sub goal videos. So we're at 550. This is the 551, and for this album, we set it to In the Aeroplane Over the Sea, a indie folk album that is made by Neutral Milk Hotel from 1998. Noah, you're quite a fan of this album. I'll let you go ahead. Tell us about this album and this band.
Yeah, Neutral Milk Hotel is comprised of 5 people: Jeff Mangum, Jeremy Barnes, Julian Coster, Laura Carter, and Scott Spillane. This is their second album. Their first album didn't really get much attention. I haven't even heard it. Most people haven't. They just come to this one because it's viewed as one of the best albums ever, period. For good reason. Jeff Mangum is really the lead guy of the band, does all the singing and writing, and he goes in a lot of interesting directions musically and especially lyrically, as you guys will catch on as we listen to this album if it's your first time.
Ah, there you go. Good description. So there is a little inner rivalry between the two people up top here. Just to set the tone real quick, this is an album that they both love indie folk, for a record, and there is 2 indie folk albums that they both cannot agree on for the life of them. One is In the Airplane Over the Sea, and I don't think we've done the other one, right? I think that's another subscriber. So there's another one coming up called The Glow Part 2 that we will get to later on. Cole, you guys have a little rivalry about these 2 albums. Explain your little disagreement you have.
Well, Noah is a much bigger fan of In the Aeroplane Over the Sea than I am, and I'm a much bigger fan of The Glow Part 2 than he is. I think we both... neither of us dislike the other album.
Sure.
I don't dislike Aeroplane. I think it's a solid album. And I know that Noah certainly doesn't dislike The Glow Part 2. But they seem to be 2 of the most critically and, beloved indie folk and kind of sort of experimental indie folk albums that came out around the same period of time, just a couple years apart. And we just
we can't get on the same page with these 2, huh?
Have had a multi-year disagreement about which album is the superior indie folk album.
Which is actually pretty cool. Hi, Mikey Cole. Evening. Which is pretty cool because once we get to the Glow Part 2 as well, we will have a poll I'll put up on chat, and we will see what chat thinks is better, Aeroplane or the Glow Part 2. It'll be a very interesting poll to see who lands the favorite of the community. But I think that's enough talking for now. Fellas, let's get into it. In the Airplane Over the Sea, Neutral Milk Hotel. We start with King of Carrot Flowers.
Ryan, have you heard this album all the way through before?
Yes, I think once, but I don't really remember it. It's been a long time since I listened to it. Oh, okay, geez. All right, King of Carrot Flowers, Part 1. Was just listening to this classic in the car. What are the odds? Well, Isaru, considering your profile picture, I figured you might be interested in this one.
Preach, Jeffrey.
Aeroplane is vastly superior to the Glow.
Ouch. That would hurt.
That's rude. Wonder what he meant by that.
The instrumentation, so cool.
An accordion.
Slick like accordion.
Some brutal lyrics.
That's really. I don't know why, but I like that line a lot.
Oh, I love his voice.
You still ain't heard the song, so I guess I'll figure out how good the album is. Yeah, I mean, that's why we do these things, because these two have this personal disagreement about this, and we gotta see where chat lands.
I don't honestly think that this like competition exists outside of me and Noah. This is not like
No.
This isn't like Sgt. Pepper versus Pet Sounds kind of thing.
Incredible lyrics. Well,
Yep.
we're about to talk about it. All right, Noah, you love this album. Let's have you start.
This is such a good introductory song to the album. You know, it doesn't get a little too crazy, but it still kind of builds up something that you're going to see throughout the album with some pretty messed up themes. Great riff, great vocals. Instrumentation in general is awesome. I love this song. Feeling a bit of a 9.5 here.
9.5, and there's already Cole with a Cole. I'm gonna let you respond immediately.
This is one of the best introductory songs.
There is
period.
just not anywhere near enough to give this a 9.5.
It's only 2 minutes.
I
It's
mean,
amazing.
I'm not that concerned with the length. It's just like they don't do enough in the song. I do respect a lot of elements of this song. I think the lyrics are really interesting. And I appreciate how unique of an instrumental it is. I don't love all of the tones they go with. Like, I don't love how the accordion sounds a bit odd to me. I would say my biggest
flat.
problem with the song, and I mean it's gonna apply to most, if not all, the songs on the album. I just really don't like this guy's vocals that much. I don't think he's that good of a singer, and it wouldn't be that bad. He's not a terrible singer. He just tries. It's like he thinks he's an amazing singer, and so when he does, is holding out a note, really going for it, and like doing the part. It's just like, no, stop doing that. Your vocals are not good enough for you to sing that kind of stuff. And it doesn't, like, he does it a lot more on this album. I do think it's really well written. I said the lyrics are really good. It's got solid production. So I respect a lot of it. I like, most of it. But I don't like his vocal tone. It gets so flat when he really tries to go for stuff, and it gets so
very Irish, and he's
kind of
not hiding
grating.
that.
Yeah, I'm just not a big fan.
He's
of
an
his
American
tone.
individual.
I just don't really
He's
like his
American?
vocal tone that much.
Yeah.
Is he from Ireland?
No, he's American.
I'd have never thought he sounded Irish.
I thought he
before.
sounded extremely Irish. That's very surprising. Okay, well, clearly I didn't know.
I'll give this song a 7.
7. The difference, 2.5 point differential. Right
There
there.
are way better songs on this album.
There are.
All right, so in my opinion, I actually like his vocals a bit, but I also thought he was Irish, so that shows what I know about his vocal performance. If he's doing that vocal performance and he's not Irish, then that kind of changes things. But I guess if you're nailing it and it sounds good, I can't really complain too much. I don't love his vocals. He does lean into the accent really hard, and he's strangling it a little bit there on some, especially near the end where he extends out the line. Little much there. I actually agree with Cole about the accordion. I think it's a little flat. I don't think it's not recorded very properly, in my opinion. The rest of the song is great, though. Love the rest of the song. I think it's a little short, but I think it fits. I mean, this album is pretty short, so it's only 39 minutes, so I think it fits the lengthwise as an intro track. And we got to remember, it's an intro track. We still have part 2 and 3 to come up, so I'm not going to be too harsh on it. I'm going to give it a solid 8 out of 10. All right, up next, King of Carrot Flowers, part 2 and 3.
Are you ready, Cole?
All
Sing
right,
along?
No.
Boy, I haven't listened to this album in a while.
This
Going through your guys' top 100 songs yesterday.
This is
Sorry,
the
go ahead.
best example of this guy thinking that he's a better singer than he really is, because what he's about to do annoys the hell out of me.
I
Mikey
love
Cole
it.
went through our top 100 songs yesterday. Okay, now I can definitely tell he's not Irish. Wow.
Oh my god,
that he
that is
holds that
so flat.
I love that he holds that note and it's almost like it starts droning.
He's just not a singer, man. He just sounds like some random guy. He doesn't sound like he's ever tried to sing before.
He's
All right,
so
hold
good.
on. Let's let people actually hear the song. This is supposed to be folk, by the way. He is one of the weirdest accents I have ever heard.
Oh.
Appreciate it, Lucky Cole.
Love you too, Hugo. Because I'll call myself Jesus any day of the week.
Well, that's blasphemy, but whatever. Now it's really fucking good. This is really good.
Oh yeah, this kicks ass.
That's a great fucking lyric.
That guitar just droning out everything is awesome.
CJ Stroud is absolutely shitting himself right
What's different than the regular season, am I right?
now. This bad.
I will spit until I learn how to speak. Indie folk, by the way. The only thing folk about this
There's
song is
noise
his
rock
vocal
on that album
performance.
too.
Just makes you want to fucking smack your head into a table.
That's
Boy.
that.
Whew. So we've done a lot of noise rock, drone music type of stuff on this channel before. Even getting into, you can even say post rock, which gets into that a little bit as well. And this right here is sort of like what drone rock to me sounds like a lot of times, when you have just an incredibly loud but also behind everything guitar that's going, like, just making a sound this whole time in the background, especially on the drop, obviously, and it just kind of drowns out everything else, but it's also perfectly in tune with what the vibe of the song is. The only thing I don't really like, I love this instrumental. The drop is fantastic. They nail all that. Here's the problem I have with this one issue I have with the song. His vocal performance should change when the drop comes in. It should not remain the same as the beginning of the song, because it's so much more intense. It's so much bigger. It brings this huge energy to it. But his vocal performance is still singing like it's a folk song, and it just doesn't become. It's not a folk song anymore. You can call it like folk punk or something, but I don't really think that works. It's clearly noise rock intended, and I don't think having a vocal performance that still sounds like the previous folk part of it makes any sense. Outside of that, it's a perfect fucking song. So I'm gonna give it a 9, but I really wish that they had changed up the vocal performance second half. All right, Noah, you can respond to me and call me an idiot if you want.
That was exactly what I was gonna do. I was gonna say that was such a stupid fucking opinion.
I think it's a great
And
opinion.
I feel like if you had some other examples, you'd agree that yes, somebody can sing soft on a heavy instrumental, and it can work perfectly great.
But it's not soft singing. He's singing folk. That doesn't necessarily make it soft.
I don't really know what
I don't know what you're talking. I don't really know what your point is. So singing
Because
folk?
it doesn't make sense to keep the same type of vocal performance that you have on the folk part of it, and then you go into this drone noise section, which sounds complete, and you keep the same energy.
He had a lot of
No, he's
he had
energy
way
changed.
more energy.
It doesn't
on
shift
the-
that much. It does not
His
shift.
flow-
No,
Yes,
no.
it does.
It needs to
Speed went
shift.
up.
It needs to go way harder. Way harder.
I don't need him to go any harder on the verse.
I disagree. But anyway, no, I'll let you
But
continue.
He's doing fine.
Oh yeah, I'd be a liar if I said the first like 30 seconds of the song didn't have me questioning whether it'd be a good song or not when I first heard it. But then that build up, when that starts hitting, that is an immaculate build up. And their release, this is that instrumental burst.
Mm-hmm.
That is just so awesome. This pure raw distortion. You can't really tell what's being played, and it's so cool. And then Jeffy Boy.
I mean, you guys do
starts
lose your mind for
spitting.
noise rock a lot, so
Great lyrics. For 80% of the song, great vocals. It's an awesome song. That I'll give a 9.
Okay, so we came to the
First
same
one's a little
ranking
better.
in just a completely different fashion.
Yes, we did.
That's, see, that's why we have this channel. Cool.
Alrighty. Well, the first, the intro to this song, I dislike every part of it. I think his vocals are really, really bad when on the "I Love You, Jesus Christ" part. It's totally grating and annoying as hell to me. Once the instrumental really gets going, I think his vocals improve a lot. I still wouldn't say they're like great, but they get better because he's trying to do a lot less. The melody is fantastic when all that distortion comes in. The instrumental is super cool and really unique.
Mm-hmm.
Great melody, great lyrics. Big fan of the lyrics. Really good. I'll probably throw this song an 8 to an 8.5.
All right, title track.
Don't love how those guitars sound.
Gorgeous chord progression.
Really great melody.
What a beautiful dream that could flash on the screen in a blink of an eye and be gone from me. Soft and sweet, let me hold it close and keep it here with me.
I don't know what accent he's doing,
I love it.
but I'm not a
I
fan of
really
it right now.
might
Don't
be his
like
best
how
song
much
vocally.
he likes the letter E.
This album came out in 1998.
I love the way he descends in his vocal lines on this song.
For now we are young, let us lay in the sun and count every beautiful thing we can see. Love to be in the arms of all I'm keeping here with me.
His breath control is a little nutty.
If only the tone was good.
Now that trumpet sounds a little flat.
It sounds great.
Hi, Robert Carberry.
When did this album come out?
Hi, Nikki
98.
Ann. The song is very pretty.
What a curious life.
Makes you sort of want to bob back and forth, Throw a lighter up or something. It's one of those like end of concert songs.
First Anne Frank reference of that album.
I forgot about that.
Soft and sweet, how the notes all bend and reach above the tree.
Such a weird distortion there.
I remember you, how I would push my fingers through your mouth to make those muscles move, made your voice so smooth and sweet. But now we keep where we don't know our secrets, sleep in winter clothes with one you loved so long ago. Now we don't even know.
The lyrics on this are fantastic.
Yep.
Don't know if we need this squeaky, weird
Hey, we love a singing
instrumental
saw.
right here.
The singing saw is awesome.
Are you see-
What a beautiful face I have found in this place that is
That's a singing saw, never mind.
all around the sun.
Now that trumpet kicks ass.
Cloud, I'll be laughing out loud. I'll be laughing with everyone I see. Can't believe how strange it is to be anything at all.
Probably one of the best acoustic, amazing vocal melody. He's just killing it. The lyrics are really, really good. The instrumental breaks are perfect. This song is just one of the. I'm pretty sure I had this in my top 100 songs,
You did.
and it would remain in there because it's one of the best songs I've ever heard, especially from this genre. Yeah, that's a 10. That's an easy 10 right there.
Boom! First 10 of the album for Noah. Cole, I'll let you respond.
I mean, I understand why, from his perspective, that's a 10. Still not really feeling his vocals, but everything else about the song is pretty damn good. Obviously, it's a beautiful melody. Great corporation, great guitar playing, whatever, guitar writing, whatever you want to call it. Really great lyrics. That's kind of like the one consistently great theme throughout this album is the lyrics are really damn good, really interesting. But yeah, I would just really love to hear this album with like somebody else singing it. But I will still throw the song an 8.5.
8.5. Cole, not breaking that 9 barrier quite yet.
I don't think we will. I think we just peaked.
So the parts I think are fantastic are the lyrics. The instrumental has incredible moments. The parts I don't think are fantastic are his accentuated voice on pitches, the accentuated accent of his pitch on some of the lines where he strings them out and holds out the notes. Not a huge fan of how he sounds there. I wish it either delve fully into the accent and just go hard as you can into it, or don't have the accent as much.
That's just how he sings, I think.
But well, the way he sings is like a really weird. It's mashed up. I mean, people keep telling me they can tell. They now know why. They get why I thought they was Irish, is because he's got this weird mashed up accent where it's like half Irish, half not, and it's got. I don't know. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's a me thing. I guess it is. I don't know. I didn't say it's bad. I just wish he would go harder into it or leave it level headed. One of the two. Outside of that, lyrics are fantastic. This is a solid 9. Up next, we have Two-Headed Boy.
Two-headed boy, all floating in glass. The sun, it is past, now it's blacker than black. I can hear as you tap on your jar, and I am listening to hear where you are. I am listening to hear where you are. Two-headed boy,
Absolutely
put
not.
on Sunday shoes and dance round the room.
Remember to breathe, I see room.
Gordian keys with the needle that sings in your heart, catching signals.
Ah, that's bad.
Oh, I love
Sorry,
it.
that's bad.
Catching signals that sound in the dark. We will take off our clothes and they'll be placing fingers.
Who writes lyrics like this?
in your spine.
It's so cool.
I don't really know what he's talking about.
Everything that you could keep.
I still don't know on a few of these songs what he's talking about, but it sounds really cool. Very good mental imagery.
Billy sings in a fake accent. But I know it would explain a lot.
Creating a radio blade just for two in the parlor with a moon across her face. And through the music he sweetly displays silver speakers that sparkle all day, made for just lay there in their climb.
When he decides to hold that stuff out or double up on the words is very weird.
There's no reason to grieve. The world that you need is wrapped in gold, silver sleeves left beneath Christmas trees in the snow. And I will take you and leave you alone, watching spirals of white softly flow over your eyelids, and all you did will wait until the point when you let go.
Picture, when to pause this, because it like transitions right into the next song without you being able to tell at all.
All good.
Man, some people are just not singers. I'm sorry.
And Jeff
But-
Mangum is a singer.
So okay, no, hold
I
on, hold on,
don't
hold on.
agree.
Apparently he's from Louisiana, and that's his natural Cajun accent, but it sounds super Irish, so I don't know. I've heard, is Billy the singer or is Jeff Magnum the singer? Who's Billy?
Billy Joe
I have no
he's
idea.
Green Day, and he was using him as an example of somebody who's
Ah,
sing to like
okay.
completely different from how they sound.
Okay, got it.
Billy
Sorry.
Joe Armstrong is one of the worst fucking singers.
Yeah, okay,
I've
cool.
ever heard in my
That's a whole other argument. All right, sorry, Cole, continue.
life. Good melody, interesting lyrics. The instrumental isn't super riveting, but it's nice. But I can. There's so many moments on here vocally that I just cannot get behind at all.
Okay.
There are just moments here where it's just absolutely grating, and I'm like, he just doesn't sound like he knows what he's doing vocally. But other than that, it's a decent song. I can't really justify giving it anything higher than a 7 though.
7.
Yeah.
Very interesting opinion. No, would you like to retaliate?
Sure. It's not gonna be much of a retaliation, but more of a my perspective on it. I mean, years ago, when I heard this album for the first time, when I was much less accepting of different styles of singing and music in general,
When you were a young
never
lad.
had an issue. I never had an issue with his voice. So I just don't get that perspective because I'd never had that issue from the start.
I get it.
So yeah, it's your opinion, and I will respect it to the best of my abilities. Lyrically, yeah, this song is just wow. Half the time I don't even know what the fuck he's talking about, but I know it's some deep shit because he's just doing these crazy metaphors and just creating these really interesting mental images in your brain under a amazing melody. This song, damn near perfect.
Wow.
9.5.
Wow. Okay. You both mentioned the vocals, and I was going to mention it as well, but you guys have completely differing opinions. I'm sort of split because on the one hand, I do like the way he sounds like at the end. I think that's much more natural. And it sounds like he leans off the accent a little bit less at the end, especially. But then he goes into peaks where he's just like screaming it, or not screaming, but like singing very forcefully into the microphone, and it loses. The microphone gets over, like it over amplifies and it starts
Or
breaking.
stimulated.
It's breaking at one point, and I'm like, I don't think that was, if that was your goal, I don't think that's a good goal because it doesn't sound very good when it just like pops over the microphone's allowed ampage type of thing. And I don't like the way that he chooses to do that. I think there's better ways of forcefully singing and getting your point across. To what Noah was saying, though, I do think the lyrics are probably cool if you take the time to break it down. But I have if I have to like sit there and study your metaphors in order to fully get them, like individual, like I have to go in and read philosophy or whatever this shit. I'm sorry, you're going too deep, man. It's a surface level. Most songs are meant to be heard and enjoyed. And yeah, if you can get the lyrics, if you can understand them, that's great. But if you have to like start going deep into like psychology and stuff like that, then how good are your lyrics really? It's that type of thing. Not to say it's bad. You're allowed to do that, of course, but it does make me lower the lyrics a bit. All that being said, I do like this instrumental quite a lot. And if that is his natural Cajun accent, which somebody said has a little bit of Gaelic Irish to it, which is why I probably thought he was Irish, then he's probably just being his natural accent. There's nothing he's adjusting, which is fine. It's just a very unique accent. You don't really hear a lot of musicians from the leaning into a Cajun accent very much. I'm going to kind of split the gap here. I'm going to give this an 8, and I think that it's got a lot of good moments, but it also has a little bit of valleys, like especially when he's forcefully singing and blowing up the microphone a bit.
Well, he doesn't do it intentionally. It's just his natural singing voice is just loud.
Right.
He's just loud.
10 or so, or 5, and we'll let the transition happen. Up next, we have The Fool, which apparently doesn't have lyrics.
Yeah, it's instrumental. It sounds like I'm on a fucking pirate ship.
I remember you saying that the first time I listened to the song. This song, I remember this. This is the one that reminded me of when they were in Pirates of the Caribbean, when they're all walking to get hanged, and they're playing that song in the background. Exactly the same thing. Love that, Hugo. Great reference.
Oh yeah, Mikey Cole.
This song is just giving me old sea shanty vibes almost. Just come on a rocky little pirate ship. Instrumentally, it's really cool. It has a certain vibe to it that I find very hard to describe.
So do I.
The horn, whatever horn it is, I'm not sure. Sounds great. There's some accordion in the background. It's good. The drums sound great. There's some other things in the background, some higher pitched things that join in at other points. I don't know what they are because he used so many different weird instruments, but it all sounds great. I find this to be a great transitional piece and good song in its own right. 8.5.
8.5. I'd like to go. I mentioned the Pirates of the Caribbean reference because that's what every time I hear this song, it's the immediate first thing that pops into my mind, which is a very dark song that they play when they're walking to like the hangman, and it's just the gallows, sure. When they're walking to there, and they just have this dark tune that sounds very eerily similar to this. Now, obviously, Pirates of the Caribbean came way later, but I wonder if they heard this song, the soundtrack people heard this song, and were like, that could be a really cool song to play for this. I have no way of knowing that, but it might be true. If it is, that's fucking awesome. I agree with pretty much everything Noah said. I think it's a really cool transitional interlude type song. I'm willing to even go a bit higher, but I'll stay chill, and I'll agree with you. 8.5. Cool.
Well, Ryan, I'm actually going to agree with you about the kind of mood and tone that they're trying to capture in the song.
Yes.
It kind of does sound like someone approaching their impending doom, like they're approaching the end of their life or something in some kind of way. And I think they do a really, really solid job of capturing that vibe. It's a cool song. I like that they get creative with it, and I like that they, try and pick a certain unique vibe to it, and they
I like when
pull it up pretty
tracks do
well.
that, where they try to make a vibe.
Yeah, I think they do a pretty decent job at it. I'll throw it a 7.
All right, up next we have Holland, 1945.
2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
There's the noise rock. With a droning guitar that just blares out. Mariachi band.
Great horns. Great horns right there.
Cole, did you watch into that game?
I damn near had a heart attack.
Holy shit! That was hard to watch. That dun 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 fucking awesome. Oh, that's such a cool horn. Yeah. Oh,
And then
yeah.
transitions again.
So the first time I heard this song, I don't know why I never really got it. Maybe I was just in a bad mood that day or something, but I just did not feel the energy this song is bringing and how well delivered it is. But my opinion is incredibly changed on this. First of all, Cole said it right off the bat. The horns, the mariachi type horns we had on this, fucking awesome. I mean, they are mariachi. I mean, it's very, very mariachi type horns. You know, that's what you'll
Was
hear.
it?
Type of thing going on with like the, you know, it's very common. But what I love about this is the overall instrumental with little parts mixed in here and there to give it just a little bit of increase. Every time you start to get a little lulled to sleep with that instrumental, they throw in something extra. Like Cole, you were talking about how the first song was lacking some things to kind of progress the song a bit. That made up for it right there. I mean, that was fucking everything the first song could have been and more, because it threw in little bits here and there. It changed up the pacing. It changed up the tempo. He changed up his vocal points at some things where he went a little higher points. And then that like do progression thing they were doing with the instrumental's voice. Awesome. And the lyrics were great. I mean, this is my first 10. That's fantastic. That is fantastic work all around. Big fan. His voice didn't even bother me on that song. Not one single bit. I thought it fit the progression perfectly. Okay, let's go to Noah.
All right. Yeah, this song's extremely good. So, some really fucked up lyrics
Mm-hmm.
for how upbeat of a song it is.
Yeah, the lyrics don't really fit the song attitude. I'll give you that, but
Well, I think he does some amazing storytelling though, so I don't really mind. This album's wacky, so kind of makes sense that this would happen.
mm-hmm.
Vocals are good, the horns are good. I like that they do a bit of almost like a call and response kind of thing, which reminds me of a certain song on the Glow Part 2. So maybe some copyright happening here.
You think they took it
on the moon
All
from
right,
the Glow Part 2.
Save your opinion for when we do that one.
Okay, yeah. Not gonna give it a 10. That was a big ol' high rating, but I can see why you think that. This is one of the favorite songs for a lot of people. And I get it, it's extremely fun, and I agree for the most part, it's not to that level. I'll give this song a 9.5.
9.5. I mean, maybe I am overranking it. I just don't remember this song, and there's I didn't even have it liked on Spotify, which for whatever reason I must not have appreciated it very much when I first heard it. So it could be just a dramatic overreaction, but I thought that was great. All right, cool.
Yeah, one of the better songs on this album. Really great melody. Really cool instrumental. Pretty fantastic lyrics. I think if I'm not mistaken, that he tried some vocal layering on this one, which I think helped. Still can't say that it was like, oh, I like the vocals, but it made them a little bit better.
Yeah.
So I will throw this one an 8.5.
Here we have a communist daughter.
Lyrical miracles. So cool.
Really bizarre intro.
Sweet communist, the communist daughter standing on the seaweed water. Semen stains the mountaintop. Semen stains the mountaintops with coca leaves along the border. Sweetness swings from every corner. Cars screaming from the clouds. The bridges burst then twist around. And wanting something warm and moving bends towards herself. The soothing proves that she must still exist. She moves herself about her face. Sweet communist, the communist daughter standing on the seaweed water. Semen stains the mountaintops. Semen stains the mountaintops.
I think I have a pretty controversial opinion about this song. Well, I guess we'll see.
God.
Very, very pretty melody.
So good.
I know a lot of you guys have been fans, some of you not, but I know a lot of you guys have been fans of this guy's vocals throughout the album. I will say this. When he sings like this, he is way better and way easier to listen to than when he tries to stress and sing at a louder pitch or a higher pitch or start kind of going like full blown into the song with effort. This is so much easier to listen to. And I saw Cole just nodding his head, so I guess he agrees with me. This was a breeze. Vocally, I mean, it was peaceful, it was pretty, it sounded. Now the lyrics are very odd, and I have no clue why he's saying that over and over again, but to each their own. I think
it's just a silly metaphor.
I know what the metaphor is, but like you couldn't have found a better metaphor. I don't know, but great vocals here. I don't know why he doesn't sound like this more, or did more of a effort to make more of these type of songs, instead trying to be more forceful with his voice and keeping up with the instrumentals. Other than that, lyrically, it's nothing that interesting to me. It's kind of weird. Noah said it best. It's some lyrical miracle stuff going on right here, which is not even really that true, honestly. But vocally, it's his best performance. I think it's his best performance on so far. Instrumental's okay. It's not the best instrumental. I'm gonna give this a 7.5. I know it's weird because you're thinking, why you gave songs where you criticize the vocals higher scores. Yeah, but the instrumental was better, way better than this one, which is kind of a bland instrumental but a much better vocal. So you're taking and you're giving with this type of song. All right, Noah.
Boy, let's reel us back in here.
Okay.
Yeah, he does sound really, really good on this song. I think he sounds great on the entire album, but I get that when he goes a bit softer, it can be more enjoyable, a bit more of an easy listening experience. Yeah, instrumentally, holy shit. This song is gorgeous. I don't know if that horn melody is an interpolation of anything, but if that is entirely his own idea, that was genius. That melody is amazing. The lyrics are great. This is like this is the strongest of nines.
Strongest of nines. You know, real quick, I want JYJJY7. I don't even know how to begin to pronounce your username, but I completely disagree. I mean, I think even Noah just admitted this is one of the better vocal performances on the album. So to call this one the most boring songs vocally and say the problem is me, not him, I completely disagree with you on everything you just said. All right, cool. Sorry if that's rude.
Unnecessary comment. Yeah, I mean, I obviously like his vocals here more than most of the album because he's not going for it as much, which I don't think he pulls off super successfully the rest of the album. But you know, he keeps it pretty low key on this one, keeps it nice and sweet. And he sounds pretty good.
Good.
I wouldn't say he sounds great, but he sounds pretty decent. He kind of sounds like he knows what he's doing a little bit more. You know, the lyrics are interesting. I'm not 100% sure on what they exactly mean, but you know, it's cool, whatever. I like the melody. It's very pretty. This is just a pretty song.
Very pretty.
I do wish there was more to it. I feel like it's definitely too short, like really too short.
That's another issue I had.
But it's still nice. I still enjoy it. 7 to 7.5.
We have O Comely, which is what a unique title.
Stop, Cole.
It's just here we go.
Oh, comely, I will be with you when you lose your breath, chasing the only.
See, now we're back to what we had done previously vocally on the album.
I feel like this is the middle ground, except for lines like this.
Bright and bubbly, terrible scene that was doing her thing on your chest. But oh, comely.
You know, if you just heard this without knowing this album, you'd be a little, there's some context you'd be missing.
Drunk on your automy, it doesn't mean anything at all. Comely, all of your friends are all letting you blow, wrestling and ugly, bursting with fruits falling out from the holes of some Friday, bright and just one friend that you could find. He is standing next to me. He's only my enemy. I'll crush him with everything I own. Say what you wanna say and hang for your hollow ways, moving your mouth to pull out all your miracles.
Yeah, see, now that doesn't do it for me right there.
For me.
Oh, I love that.
I mean, that is certainly a way of singing, but it's not. It's a lot. It's.
So passionate.
Your father made fetuses with flesh-licking ladies while you and your mother were asleep in the trailer park. Thunderous sparks from the dark of the stadiums, the music and medicine you needed for comforting. So make all your fat, fleshy fingers to moving and pluck all your silly strings and bend all your notes for me. And soft, silly music is meaningful, magical. The movements were beautiful, all in your ovaries, all of them milking with green fleshy flowers, while powerful pistons were sugary sweet machines smelling of semen.
This dude is really obsessed with some weird stuff, man.
Was all you were needing when you still believed in me. Say what you wanna say and hang for your hollow ways, moving your mouth to pull out all your miracles. For me.
It is something, man.
I know they buried her body with others, her sister and mother, and 500 families. And will she remember me? 50 years later, I wished I could save her in some sort of time machine. Know all your enemies. We know our enemies are. Know all your enemies. We know our enemies.
I'm about to bust.
Controversial take. I wish he wasn't singing along with it.
No, it's so good.
I prefer to just hear the strumming and the horn.
Golden, my dear, we will
Hi, Siri, you gotta chill, bro.
freeze together far away from hell. your skin began
Lord.
to blind itself with
That fart right there, though. Hi, Cosmic. Let's start with you.
Oh boy, this is a mixed bag right here. I mean, because okay, lyrically, really great.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much going on, but I mean, it's all of the the whole thing. It makes for a really really interesting. I don't really know how much of a story it is necessarily, but it's just really fascinating kind of poetry that he's going through. And I think the lyrics are great. Um, vocally,
We waver.
I am not on board. There's a couple moments vocally where he's doing okay, but there are just a lot where I cannot get on board with it, and there's not enough going on around it to like make up for that because it's really stripped back, and most of the song is just him and his guitar. Um, I mean, I respect the ambition of this song a lot to have like a slower song that's 8 minutes, that's like super lyrically dense. But I just don't think he's really the singer to pull it off. Um, yeah, it's kind of hard to rank or rate. Uh, I'll give it a 7. Which I'm sure is incredibly
Very
blasphemous
interesting. We
to
will
a
see.
lot of people.
I'll let Noah finish on this one because this guy could only talk about finishing. Apparently, he's obsessed with semen for some reason. But let's let me just say this. This is a very unique song. It's sort of an epic without being a full-blown epic, right? It doesn't have that big build-up where you have a great finish, but it has elements of an epic, right? You have the very ending where he's singing along with the horns that come in and the strumming of the guitar, but he's not singing, he's more harmonizing with it. There are certainly parts of this that are very good. There's also parts of this where I'm going to say Cole's right, and the vocals are harkening back to other parts of the album where I didn't really appreciate the vocals that much, where he kind of forces it at some points. But then there are lines where he doesn't force it. Like Noah said, it's a bit of an in-between the previous song and where he's forcing it on like a louder or higher pitched vocal performance. You have lines that go in between. So there's a lot of things happening him vocally. I would give his vocal performance probably like an 8 out of this. It's not the worst. It's certainly not the best. The thing I don't like about this song is when he twice at the end, especially in the last 2 minutes, he starts harmonizing along with the horns and the strumming. I would have preferred just to hear the horns and the strumming and then come back in with your next verse again. Instead, I don't really think the harmonizing added anything. Now, I'm going to get hatred for that. I understand. I think a lot of people love the harmonizing. I don't think it really added much to it. In fact, I would have preferred just to hear the instrumental there. Overall, lyrically, it's fantastic. What incredible lyrics to read through, and I was reading all of it. It was really interesting. I'm going to go a little higher. I'm going to say 8 to an 8.5. Noah, finish this off like he does so much in this song.
Wow. This is a bit of a journey. Great vocals throughout the song. I don't know if I'd say it's the best on the album. It's probably like 3 or 4. He goes through prints all his styles. He goes soft, he goes hard, explores all of his range, and it's amazing. Lyrically, yeah, it's a lot to unpack.
Yep.
Most of it, after years of listening, I have not fully unpacked. but it creates great mental imagery. And I feel like if I knew what he was talking about more, I'd probably like it even more. And yeah, he sounds great with the horns. I thought that I love that. I love when he harmonizes with the other instruments. Yeah, for that one, this is like as strong as a 9.5 can get.
Up next, we have Ghost. Is this the last song?
No,
Nope.
we have 2 more after this.
Oh, wow. That one feels longer than it actually is. Maybe we've just been very opinionated about it. Wow!
Ghost, ghost, I know you live within me. Feel as you fly in thunder clouds above the city into one that I loved with all that was left within me until we tore into
That is a blasting. I don't even know what instrument that is.
No idea.
Is that a bass just cranked up to like 1,000?
Yep, I think. I think.
And she was born in a bottle rocket 1929 with wings that ring around a socket right between her spine.
Ooh, that progression is pretty cool. Coldplay is Radiohead for people who don't like music that much.
I disagree with that.
I love the stick hitting the rim of the drums on this song. I don't know why I do, but I just do.
There's a very cool intensity to it.
I love this progression and the drums. These lyrics feel pointless.
Man.
What a pressure cooker this song was. Very nice release there at the end too.
The best part of that song, for like the first time in the album, is probably the drumming. Especially the way they produced it. I like how forward in the mix the kick drum was. I feel like that really kept the song together.
Mm-hmm.
Especially some really nice drum fills as well when the song started to pick up its pace. Lyrics again. What I sometimes know what he's talking about, sometimes I don't.
I
but
never
it's
know what the
still
fuck he's talking about.
very enjoyable nonetheless. Vocals are great. They're always great with Mr. Jeff. He's a baller. The little instrumental section at the end. I don't know what fucking instruments are being played, but it sounds really cool, very unique, and I love it. This song is a 9.
9. Cole.
I mean, yeah, it had I like the progression of that song quite a bit. It had a really nice intensity to it. And they kind of hung in that, I don't know what the word is I'm looking for. They just kept that going they kept that pace going very well. And I really like the outro with these just kind of instrumental explosion at the ending. That was really cool.
Yeah.
Some really good lyrics, good melody, very, very, very solid work all the way around. Wouldn't say I love the chorus. And there's a moment or two vocally that I wasn't super big on, but overall it was good. I'll give that one an 8.
So I won't harp too much on what they said because I'm just going to be repeating a lot. I liked pretty much the entire progression of the song, which was great, and I thought the lyrics. I mean, they look when you read them, they look really cool and they sound really cool when he's singing them. But I really, it's hard for me to understand what the hell he's talking about because he has a lot of different metaphors in these songs, so it's hard to keep track. I will give this song I'm gonna split the gap and go 8.5. All right, up next, Untitled. It does not.
Oh, this song's so crazy.
Some real Irish stuff going on here. Celtic.
Wow. Untitled truthers rise up. I didn't know you were a truther for Untitled, Alex. I wasn't specifically referencing this song, Iceru. More so his vocals, but yeah. Wow, that keyboard. He's really fingering those two keys, ain't he, Noah? Oh. Is this going to lead into... yes, it will. Maybe this might be an unpopular opinion. I have not loved the whole Irish thing that's happened so far in this album, but I love the bagpipes here. And I'm not usually a bagpiper, but that was really cool. Okay, whatever.
Not usually a bagpiper.
Not usually that into bagpipes and songs. Casual bagpiping. But not usually into it. But this was really cool. I thought this fit perfectly with the theme of this album. I mean, it's been such a Irish Gaelic sort of type of vibe this album has had, and I thought it was a great instrumental for that. And then at the end, that little flourish he does with it, and wow. God, that was cool. I like that. Instrumental, I will say it's better than The Fool. So what did I give The Fool? 8.5. Oh boy, I guess I got to give this a 9. I'm going to give it an 8.5 as well, but I do think it's better. I do think it's better. Cool.
I mean,
Listen, guys, I never mind. Just keep going.
yeah, it's a cool instrumental. probably the most intensely I've ever heard somebody play a bagpipe in a not annoying kind of way. Yeah, they do a pretty good job with it. It's a pretty cool, pretty unique instrumental. I respect it. You know, can't say I like return to a song like this much, but I don't dislike it. It is pretty cool. I'll throw it a 7.
Yeah, I just realized bagpipes are Scottish, so that really didn't work with my metaphor of the rest of the song album being Irish. But you know what? Fuck it. I liked it either way. All right, Noah.
This song is so fucking out there, but I love it because of that. Got these really cool. I don't know if they're keyboards or what. I'm just gonna. I can't be 100% sure of what any instrument on this album is, because they use so much weird shit. But yeah, the way they mic the bagpipes, it's so awesome, but kind of funny at the same time.
Yeah.
Because it's ear blaring. It's
Yeah,
really
it's loud.
cool.
They're really high pitched.
It's really cool. The drums are awesome. When it comes to the two instrumental tracks, I like this one a little more.
Okay.
But they're both good in their own rights. This one's a 9.
All right, last song on In the Aeroplane Over the Sea. We have Two-Headed Boy Part 2.
Oh.
Try not to nut too hard, Noah. You all agree with that opinion, for sure.
Daddy, please hear this song that I sing.
Okay, so here's where he sounds whiny, and I don't like it.
In your heart, there's a spark that just screams for a lover to bring a child to your chest that could lay as you sleep and love all you have left like your boy used to be long ago, wrapped in sheets warm and don't hate her when she gets up to leave.
And there we have Two-Headed Boy Part 2. Holy fuck, those lyrics are good. Wow. I mean, there are multiple lines I wasn't really following what he was saying, like this whole album, but the one line that really stuck out to me was he feeds you tomatoes and radio wire. What? But anyway, that really doesn't matter. I have no idea what that means, but it doesn't really matter. But wow, lyrically, that was so good, and you can hear the passion in his voice when he's singing it. You can absolutely hear that. But that's sort of the problem I have also, and I don't want to take too much time on this, but that's sort of the problem I have with this whole album is he probably shouldn't have been the one to sing this. Even if he's extremely passionate about this, there could have probably been a better singer for it. That being said, an incredible lyrical song, very basic instrumental, but it fit the style and theme of this album very well. I'll give this an 8.5 to a 9. Cool.
Yeah, I mean, definitely the highlight here is definitely the lyricism.
Yep.
They're pretty damn stellar. Really interesting, really well done. Great way to end the album lyrically. Melodically, it was all right. It wasn't one of my favorites on here melodically, and vocally, I can't say that I thought a whole lot was better from like other points on the album where I thought he struggled a little bit. Yeah, it's good. It's a solid outro. I still don't like him vocally though. But I'll throw that song a 7.5.
I'm gonna agree with you more than I disagree with you about that opinion, Cole. Noah.
Okay, so what you guys are missing is the highlight.
Okay.
Is the whole song. This is a masterpiece. This is the lyrics are incredible.
They are good.
Vocally, it's my favorite vocal performance on the album.
No.
Instrumentally, the progression is just next level.
Progression?
Yeah, the instrumental progression, the chords.
There's far better progression on this song, instrumentally on this album than that song.
It creates such an excellent mood, and I adore it. This is also like another top 100 best song of all time for me. So yeah, this is again an easy 10 and an amazing way to close the album.
All right, it is final, but we've gone through the album and now it is final rankings time. Yeah, so if you've never been here before, what we do, we take our top 3 of the album, we put them in order, and then we rank the album on a 1 to 10 scale and give our lasting thoughts on it. Cole, you had probably the lowest opinions of this album. Let's start with you.
Let me take a look at the track list here. What were my 3 highest rated?
So you had Holland 1945, you had In the Aeroplane Over the Sea, and then you had a couple at 8 to 8.5. Oh Comely and Care of Flowers Part 2 and 3 are tied at 8 to 8.5.
I did not give Oh Comely an 8 to an 8.5. Absolutely.
I think you mean 7 to 7.5. That sounds more Cole.
Oh yeah, sorry, I looked at myself. Yeah, okay, you only gave 1 to so it would probably be Care of Flowers Part 2 and 3 at your third, and then you have to decide between title track and Holland 1945.
Yeah, I'll go Care of Flowers 2 and 3 at 3.
Okay.
I'll probably go title track at 2, Holland 1945 at 1.
There you go.
I mean, overall, there's a lot to like about this album. I just also have some problems with it. I mean, my biggest problem easily is that I just don't think this guy is much of a singer. His vocal tone just gets really grating for me when he's really going for it and when he's really getting louder. I just don't think it holds up super well, and it kind of just irritates me. But I mean, lyrically, it's really dense but really interesting album. It has a lot of really beautiful moments. Instrumentally, it's pretty damn unique, and I respect their ambition for it.
Sure.
There are some parts that I think are too long, other parts I think are too short. It's a very mixed bag for me. I get that a lot of people think this is one of the greatest albums of all time. I can understand why they think that, but I still have my reservations about it. I just still have those problems that I mentioned throughout the video. So I do think that this is one of the more overrated albums. But that's not to say that it's a bad album, because it's not a bad album. I enjoy it for the most part. Overall I would give the album like probably a 7 to 7.5.
7 to a 7.5. All right, I'll go next. My top 3 after looking at it. Yeah, I think it's pretty simple for me. We have King of Carrot Flowers Part 2 and 3, title track, and then pretty handily we have Holland 1945. Not much else comes really close to that one. Yeah, I'm gonna agree more so to Cole here than I will probably anyone else. I think there's a lot of great things about this album. Lyrically, like you said, it's very great. It's great lyricism, but he did put out a good word. It's very dense. It is super hard to follow. It's very metaphorical. It's very poetic in a way, but without being poetic or without being poetry. It's super hard to follow, which can sometimes take away from me lyrically, but it's got some beautiful lines, some extremely well written ones, and the more so to his vocal performance, like I said, I'm going to lean towards Cole a bit more here. The passion that he has for his music and the music that he wrote on this album is clear and evident, but sometimes because of the way his vocals sound or the way his tone sounds, it just makes his pitch sound bad and at times, and I don't like the shred. Now I don't hate it as much as Cole does, but I do think it at times he does go a little overboard, and it really takes away from the instrumentals, which are fantastic throughout this album. For like 99% of it. I'm gonna give this album an 8.5. All right, Noah.
All right, at number 3, I'll go "O Comely."
Okay.
At 2, I will go the title track. And at number 1, I'll go "Two-Headed Boy" Part 2. This is probably a top 20 album of all time, in my opinion.
Wow.
Absolutely amazing front to finish. Easily one of the most satisfying albums to listen to front to back. Like, it flows song to song so effortlessly and in a way that feels right, that it's like, for me, probably like a top 5 most enjoyable album to listen to front to back,
Wow.
because of just how well it goes together, every song. Yeah, this is just a little bit of a masterpiece here. I'm feeling the 10.
Wow, there it is, the 10 locked in. All right, hey, you know, it's got, I feel like it has something for everyone to enjoy. Whether if you don't like the vocals, lyrics. If you don't like the lyrics, you got vocals and an instrumental, or if you don't like any of that, you got an instrumental, which is just a fantastic instrumental. And we hope you guys did enjoy. That was our 550 sub goal video. Thank you guys so much for 550 subs. We've actually shot up since then, so we appreciate it. We're almost at 700, which is awesome. If you guys did enjoy, though, leave a like down below and hit subscribe. Also hit the bell. We've been doing these all on live streams, so please come watch as we do these live. It's pretty fun. Get to interact with chat. And follow us on Twitter. We tweet out whenever we go live and whenever we upload. And we'll see you guys in the next video.